I'm so glad you are all here with us for this Zoom worship. We're going to start with some gathering music, so this is a great time to grab your candles, a glass of water, or a cup of tea, or an extra pillow, whatever might make your physical space feel a little more caring and a little more sacred. As we get into worship, I invite you to sing along, make some noise, and clear some space to dance. The words to all of the songs in our program will be shared in the chat. The chat box is a key part of our online worship, so share your greetings, your responses, and whatever in the gathering is resonating for you with one another there. And now we invite you to share where you are joining from in the chat. Emily is going to get us started with our gathering music.
Hello, everyone. We're going to start with one you know, so please get comfortable, sing along if you know it. It's Ali Halpert's Loosen, Loosen. I'm going to use my loop station to kind of give us a sonic meditation. Join in the loop as you feel. Loosen, 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 baby. You don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Loosen, loosen, baby. You don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Holy breath and holy Mary, the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Will you ease this pain? Holy breath and holy Mary, the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Will you ease this pain? Holy breath and holy Mary, the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Will you ease this pain? Loosen, loosen, baby, and you don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Loosen, loosen, baby. You don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Let go, let go, let go. Let go, let go, let go. Let go indeed. It's good to catch my breath here in beloved community with you all. I'm gonna roll right into another sonic meditation out of our Singing the Living Tradition Gray hymnal. I know this rose will open. Do my got another kind of looped version of this. I know. Yeah, this one, I feel like sometimes, even when you're not feeling like you can make your gratitude list, sometimes you kind of just gotta will that gratitude into being. And I love the kind of determination of spring in this song. So I know, 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 I know. I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open. I know this rose its wings. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open. Will open. I know. I know. I know. I know. Blessings, everyone.
Thank you so much. That was beautiful, Emily. My name's Laura, and I'm going to be doing our chalice lighting today. So if you have a chalice at home, feel free to get it out. And I'm going to be using this lovely one from a friend of mine who gifted it to me to bless my home. Living by Denise Levertov. A fire in leaf and grass, so green it seems each summer the last summer. The wind blowing, the leaves shivering in the sun, each day the last day. A red salamander, so cold and so easy to catch, dreamily, moves his delicate feet and long tail. I hold my hand open for him to go, each minute the last minute. Now I'll pass our welcome to Kay.
Hello, everyone. So wonderful to be here with you all. Welcome to Sanctuary Boston. We are a community of vibrant worship and real connection, grounded in Unitarian Universalism and open to speakers of all kinds. Uh, my name is Kay. I am a member here at Sanctuary, and for me, this has always been a place where the weirdest, loudest, parts of myself can really be welcomed and loved. And I hope that that can be true for you as well today. So please be in this space however you want. Dance, sing, talk in the chat, make funny faces, eat, lay down, rest, or none of the above. We're just happy you're here. So today we're going to be doing a lot of singing. We'll hear a message from our friend Bran. We'll take some time for reflection and candle lighting and grounding. As Bran mentioned at the start, we are recording, so if you'd rather not have your face up on YouTube later, you can turn off your camera. But if you're up for it, we would love to see all of your sweet faces singing and dancing along. So please leave your camera on. Now I'll turn it over to Shayna and Lindsay for some words of welcome.
Thank you, Kay. It's our practice to welcome each other into this space by reading these words of welcome. So I invite you to join me in reading whichever of them resonates for you.
Whether you go to church on Sunday morning,
or light candles on Friday nights,
whether you've been hurt by religion,
saved by it,
or some of both,
whether you're brand new to spiritual community,
or a seasoned seeker,
whoever you are, whatever you are,
wherever you are on your journey, we welcome
you.
Now let's continue our practice of welcoming by saying hello to an old friend or a not yet friend and sharing your greetings in the chat box as we listen to Mark David play some music.
Hello, friends. I'm going to be doing our centering music today. This is a good time to take a breath and feel yourself in your body if that feels good for you right now. And if not, just take a couple breaths and think about where else you would like to be. And this is a good song for that. There's a house I know, tucked away in the wood, where a garden grows. Oh, have you been to this house I know, where the floorboards creak and a fire glows? It's just a simple house I know. I spend my days walking city streets at night. I dream of planting my feet, 'cause there's this house I know. Never been there myself, but oh, how I wish I could go. I got roots that long to grow. There's a tale I've heard that I tell myself at night when I'm feeling unsure. Oh, do you know of this tale I've heard that I tell myself at night? And it's in which life is a song, and you know every word. It's just a simple tale I've heard. I spend my days walking city streets at night. I dream of planting my feet, 'cause there's this house I know. Never been there myself, but oh, how I wish I could go. I've got roots that long to grow. There's a house I know. Do you know it too? I've never seen it myself, but I know I'll be home when I do.
Oh, Tayward, that really spoke to my heart. Thank you so much for setting us into that space so that I can share from my heart. Like many of us, I have been in some form of therapy or another for at least a couple of decades. Some therapists and some modalities have been more helpful for my particular brain weasels than others, but over the years, I have begun to struggle to find a practitioner who is both affordable and in any way actually helpful. My personal history is a big tangle of stubborn persistence and trauma and re-trauma and adaptive coping mechanisms and maladaptive coping mechanisms and self-analysis and agony and acceptance and survival. A lot of my therapists have struggled to figure out where to begin without making that tangle even more snarled. I've also had to come to accept that at this point in my life, talking about my past and present emotions doesn't really help me. Feeling them, on the other hand. And it was this very conundrum which recently led me to seek a few sessions with a somatic practitioner. I am definitely someone whose past experiences are inscribed within the tissues of my body, so the compassionate guidance of this practitioner launched me forward in my healing journey almost immediately. And the biggest shift happened during our third meeting time. She asked me if there was some part of my body that was asking for attention. And I noticed that my neck was bothering me, so we started focusing on that area together. And all of a sudden, I realized that I had been in a quiet flashback. And whether my janky spine had set off the flashback or the flashback itself had been worsening the pain and tension that was there, either way, there inside the back of my neck was the year 2009. My body was talking to me about how I barely slept that year. Having been a passenger in 2 minor car accidents, I had untreated whiplash, which progressed into jaw problems, and I spent every night rolling around like a rotisserie chicken in my bed, trying fruitlessly to find a sleeping position that didn't hurt too much. Because I was in my body at the time of this session, and not just recalling the incident cerebrally, the year 2009 continued unfolding in my emotions and my memories and my body. All the other soul-crushing events of that year, my 19-year-old youthful confusion and overwhelm, my dreams and the sacrifices that I made in the attempt to pursue them. Now, the therapeutic miracle continued as then 2010 began to emerge from my neck and shoulders, and then 2011 and 2012. And in the space of a few minutes, 2009 me was freed from exile and united with the rest of me. My memories of that year, the ones which had been attempting to form pressure diamonds between my neck vertebrae, became unfrozen in time and returned to their place in the story. That one particular lump of trauma became smooth. I came away from this somatic session with a new understanding of the ways that trauma impacts our lives. Yes, I know we talk a lot about trauma in our communities these days, but unfortunately, it hasn't stopped being relevant, so I'm going to keep talking about it. Our lives are ruled by the human construct known as time. From our perspective, it only flows in one direction, past to future. We can't go back and change history, nor can we jump ahead. We are resigned to live our lives in order, 1 second after the next. The ways that time and memory play together, however, are less straightforward than that. Neuroscience has suggested that recalling a particular memory is less like looking at a photograph and then putting it back in the album, and more like retelling a campfire story. Every time we call up a particular memory, we recreate it before it gets refiled. Sometimes these recreations are imperfect. Sometimes they cause our nervous systems to react as though the remembered moment is happening in the present. Now, a disclaimer. I am not a scientist. I am an introspective human. The observations I'm about to offer are experiential and not, as far as I'm aware, scientifically backed. I have no desire to add to the rampant culture of disinformation and pseudopsychology which is plaguing this country. These claims are experiential, relational, and story-based. Don't drink raw milk, get vaccinated. Gaslighting is not a synonym for lying. And the idea I'm about to share with you is a conceptual observation unrelated to neuroscience. What I've come to understand is that trauma prevents our memories from taking their proper place in the overall flow of our life story. It creates little disruptions, frozen moments sticking up jaggedly out of the river of time, or unsewn pages poking out of the cover of the book. In the undisturbed consciousness, our sense of self and our sense of our life story are smooth and cohesive. For my fractured nervous system, there are big disconnects between the person I was as a child, as a teen, as a young adult, and today. Every once in a while, when the circumstances are just right, we have the opportunity to melt a frozen moment and let it sink back into the life story flow. The days, weeks, months, and years surrounding the pain point are restored to the same general amplitude as that moment itself. It doesn't necessarily stop hurting, but it can stop disrupting the spirit. The feeling of releasing those stuck spots feels like a muscle spasm, finally letting go. And all of this is well and good when it's about the wounds of the past, but it does feel a little different in 2025, when sometimes it seems like the world is designing itself to drown us in trauma. I'm not going to list anything here. You know what I'm talking about. So let's just be quiet for a moment so you can fill in the blank with your own sources of misery. I don't know about you, but it's hard for me to imagine a time when I'll be able to look back on these ghastly days with enough peace of mind to unite them with an undisrupted life story. And I am haunted by fear that the suffering is just beginning. Time feels cruel in some ways, but a creative relationship with our understanding of time can also be a big source of redemption. In the dazed days immediately following the 2016 election, my now spouse and I shared an overwhelming sense of doom. Despair was never far away from us. It felt like our lives were about to be over, when in many ways they had only just begun. Not too long after, we attended a concert together, which happened to be at sanctuary location, First Parish, Cambridge. A solo cellist with a looping station, whose career we both happened to appreciate. As the sustained low strings, the chirps and thumps and melodies began to fill that huge sanctuary, I felt the world outside retreat, and my eyes begin to fill with complicated tears. Next to me, my partner was gripping my hand. When we left the concert, my partner turned to me and said, "I had a revelation in there." It came to me that no matter what else happens to us, this moment will always have existed, and this music will always have been played. Time is useful for measuring many types of things. We actually originally created the Western system of timekeeping in order to facilitate train travel. It helps us divide our days, meet our friends for lunch, notice when it's time to go to sleep, and make sense of our memories. What time can't actually measure, no matter how hard we try to do so, is worth or value. The brevity of a moment does not serve as a source of comparison to other moments. A trauma that occurred in a matter of microseconds is no more or less disruptive by nature than one that occurred over the course of years. And a joy that lasts for the blink of a firefly is no more or less important than a joy which accompanies a full week of community singing. Since 2016, I have been adjacent to the completion of many life stories. The longest life I have honored at its end, it was 103 years, and the shortest was 5 days. The impact that each of those lives has had on the world was not measured by the life's duration, and the love they inspired was infinite and impossible to curtail. In 2025, the little stones that I am hopping on to cross the raging waters are these. I don't have to be okay every day. I don't have to ward off or deny the sources of misery, which are all around. What I need is simply to allow myself to be fully present and available for wonder and gratitude when there is goodness in that moment. When love or music or art or my animals or nature or good food or an invitation to playfulness arrives, to remember that this is enough. This will always have happened, and to perch there in that moment until someday the world offers enough peace that I can look back on these times and weave them all softly into my self-knowledge and allow the story to smooth into an undisrupted flow once more. Emily, welcome back.
Thank you so much, Bran, for that offering. Wow, yeah, that picture of weaving your memories and the traumas and the good things too together. It's a really powerful image for me. And yeah, I wanted to offer this original song that I wrote after my a spiritual mentor of sorts passed away. She died during COVID, and she was my predecessor at a campus ministry here in Urbana, Illinois. She was a social justice warrior all of her life, broke a lot of glass ceilings, and boy, yeah, that heartbreak, that trauma of losing her. You know, songwriting is, and the creative process is one of the ways that I like to heal and weave those hard things together with the gratitude. So I wrote this blessing song for her. Put your feet up, mama. There ain't nothing you need to do. The kids are fed and the laundry's folded too. You're the shoes till they curled your toes. You had to run when he wouldn't take no. You know those bags are not your own. Mama, let them go. Mama, let them go. Put your feet up, mama. Let your light unwind time. Let the world get back what you're doing kind. Kept us dry while standing in the rain. They built a dam to shore up other men's shame. Don't you know you're true is all our gain? Yeah, it's all our gain. Put your feet up, mama. The chores are all done. Don't you worry, mama. There's so much left to become. May the morning birds guide your day. Hear the rising light and sing your Thanks, everybody.
Thank you so much, Emily. This is the point in the service where we get a chance to practice generosity through the ritual of offering. Today's offering will be shared with Native Public Media. Native Public Media works to foster strong public media by and for Native audiences through a network of 57 Native radio stations and 4 television stations. They provide guidance along the process of gaining broadcast licensure and FCC compliance, as well as leadership training and education for the stations in their network to provide forums for discussion and life-saving information in times of emergencies. And they work for cultural creation and language preservation. For one part of helping to realize that important mission, this evening's offering will be given, received, and shared. And I encourage you to give generously as you are able. You can use the links that are in the chat box to donate on Venmo or Breeze, or you can find us directly on Venmo at Sanctuary Boston.
We were all born infinitely old. We were all born infinitely whole. 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 We are each of us enough. We are each of us complete. We are each of us enough, just exactly as we are. We are each of us enough. We are each of us complete. We are each of us enough, just exactly as we are. We were all born infinitely old. We were all born infinitely old. There is a love holding us. There is a love holding all that we love. There is a love holding all we rest in as love.
Thank you, Tayward. That's beautiful. Beloveds, we arrive together this evening bringing all of the joys and the sorrows of our complex lives with us. Some of us have arrived wrestling with difficult things, feeling the pain of a broken world around us, and let's be honest, within us. Some of us arrive full of blessings, brimming with gratitude. We invite you now to write any sorrows that you're carrying into the chat box. As sorrows shared are sorrows lightened. And we'll get to the joys in just a minute.
There is a love holding us. There is a love holding all that we love. There is a love holding all we rest in this love.
And now we'd like to invite everyone to share any joys in your life in the chat box, as no joys shared or joys magnified. Thank you, Tayward. That was beautiful. And thanks to everyone who shared some sorrows and some joys this evening with us. We are all feeling a fullness right now. So let's just take a moment and digest some of what has been shared, some of what we're reading in the chat as we join in the spirit of prayer together. Spirit of life, beloved God of all names and no names, God who is too big for any box we would try to put you into, mystery of interdependence that weaves us together and makes one another's joys and sorrows our own. As we enter into this time of prayer, let's just take a moment and allow all that we've read that was put into the chat box to just settle into our hearts for a moment, knowing that for all that was shared, there is still a great deal more hiding out in the sanctuaries of our hearts. Sorrows and joys that have not yet perhaps even risen to consciousness, but that are knocking around within us. These are strange and demanding and troublesome and challenging and joyful and exuberant times that we are living in. Times that call us all to be deeply rooted, to love at the center of all we do. Love inspired by the values of justice, equity, transformation, pluralism, interdependence, and generosity. May we all find time in our lives to root ourselves in those values, to relocate love at the center in all that we do, so that we can go forth into this beautiful but broken world and bring something of substance. I believe you all are enough, and I believe we can make a difference. And I believe it is more important now than perhaps it has ever been. So may it be. Blessed be, and amen.
People. Make us where we are a sanctuary, each made holy and loved right through with thanksgiving. We are a living sanctuary anew. Make us where we are a sanctuary, each made holy and loved right through with thanksgiving. We are a living sanctuary anew.
Oh, what joy for that absolutely fabulous duet. Thank you both so much. My closing charge to us today is love, music, art, animal companions, nature, good food, an invitation to playfulness. Whatever moment we find to perch on, let us remember that this is enough. This will always have happened. Someday, this will flow along with the great story which is beyond each of us and all of us. For just a few more breaths, let us all be fully here.
Love will guide us. Peace has tried us. Hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the dark night. If you cannot sing like an angel, if you cannot speak before thousands, you can give from deep within you. You can change the world with your love. Share the song, share the silence, share the shade, share the light with every friend, neighbor, and stranger on our journey through this wild life. Hear the song of deep within you. Hear the song of peace in your heart. Spring's beginning will lead to harvest, and love will guide us on our way. 'Cause love will guide us. Peace has tried us. Hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night, through the hard night, through the hard night. Blessings, everyone.